Good morning. This is day 100 on my hike from the Mexican border to the Canadian border across the United States Western Pacific Crest Trail. It's a beautiful, beautiful view of Mount Shasta to wake up to. I didn't roll into where I ended up camping until I think 9:30 yesterday. There was another guy next to me. He was already obviously well set up at that point, and I just said hi to him and apologized this morning. And he was super cool about it and super nice. He's also hiking the PCT. He said never apologize, it's shared space, people should be able to roll in and out of camp whenever they want. And I largely agree with that, but most people go to bed before, or are set up before the sun goes down and are kind of moving earlier in the morning. And, it is annoying when you get woken up in the middle of the night by people night hiking. And I wasn't really night hiking. I think that term means you're like deliberately hiking through the night. I was kind of in a bind. There are very few campsites because on that hill or that peak, it was full, and so had to come all the way down sort of this mountain to find this site. But he was there, and we chatted this morning. Really great guy, but I felt bad, but it was appreciative how understanding he was. Anyways, I'm gonna try to hit at least 25 today again. We'll see how my foot holds up. It's just such a not good feeling on my left foot, but very happy to see Mount Shasta here in such a cool manner to start the day. Oh, I'm getting started. You can see Mount Shasta in the background there. It's 9 o'clock on the dot. As mentioned, if I don't hit 25 miles a day, I'm looking at that as a failure of a day just because of the time crunch I have now getting to Canada. So we'll see how my body holds up, but getting a late start, and I don't feel like I can really kick it into high gear with how I'm feeling. So I hope I don't have to hike deep into the night again. Last night was not really trying a matter of miles. It was driven by not having access to somewhere to sleep for the night. But I definitely am getting a pretty late start today, so we'll see how the day unfolds. Catch you all in a bit on trail. It's a pretty nice view. Shasta's on the other side, but this side of the ridgeline is pretty cool too. Up there somewhere is where I peaked and was trying to camp last night, and there's no space. It was really challenging in the dark with all the weights because I had 5 pounds of water weight or more. Because I forgot I grabbed 2 liters, but I also had half a liter in my bottle I forgot about. So there's Shasta. It was tough in the dark. There were like roots everywhere and trees. It was very it's not the best set of circumstances. I don't want to say borderline dangerous, but my headlamp was dying, so it was pretty dim, but pulled it off, thankfully. I feel kind of hungover, and I obviously didn't drink last night, but the majority of hangovers in my understanding and experience are really from poor sleep. Alcohol affects your sleep quality significantly, and usually when you're out drinking, you're out later, throwing off your schedule. So I threw off my schedule a little last night because I was hiking later, and then I didn't sleep good. It was really hard rocks I was on, and all I have is this thin little pad that I'm sleeping on now. So even though I put some clothes underneath it, it was really, really extra hard and uncomfortable. But there was a deer that was coming around our campsite at night, and he was right next to my tent. I mean, at one point he was eating a bush that was 5 feet next to my tent. So it was kind of cool to see that with Shasta in the background, the moonlight kind of reflecting over everything, but definitely kept me up most of the night, in and out of sleep. So feeling pretty groggy. I'm really not even groggy. I feel hungover, but groggy too this morning. I just took a minute to appreciate as I'm walking here. I know one day I'll look back and I'll be missing these days and the freedom out here and just such a simple life. Wake up every day, you know what you're doing. You have purpose. It's to hike and rinse and repeat. So even though I've had an increasing frequency of thoughts the last few days about just wanting this whole experience to be over and looking forward to finishing and being done, putting it behind me in that sense, I also realize that a lot of things in the moment are tough, but looking back, you kind of miss it. So just trying to Nice little moment here. I'm gonna flip the camera. There's Shasta, so cool. And yeah, just there's something to be said about waking up and knowing exactly what you're gonna do with your day, and kind of just chucking along. I am pretty sure that's Mount Lassen back there, way back there. Pretty cool to see how far I've come. It's been a struggle. Filling up in this little stream on trail. Thankfully, someone did update the comments this time, so I was able to know it's still going. It's barely trickling, but it could get about a liter a minute. It's not too bad. It's very cozy and cool in here, out of the sun. I just finished getting water, but I gotta stop and tape up my toe again. It's getting worse. Even though it's wrapped, I feel blister forming elsewhere. These freaking shoes, unbelievable. Can't get a pair that works. Pretty cool view though. That's where I stopped to fix my, try to tape up my toe. Wish I had more time just to chill here. This is so nice. I'm like in a little rock thing in the shade. I just hit my head on the rock when I tried to turn. Oh. This thing is totally messed up. Like, look at the size of this freaking blister. Are you kidding me? What the frick? I've been meaning to mention this for weeks now. I've noticed it at least 2 weeks ago. My pants are way bigger on me around the waist, which means I've lost a lot of weight down there. Even though I feel like I've been trying to eat as many calories as I can in town and on trail, because it's burning so much out here. But they were like a pretty tight, not tight, but just snug fit when I left. And now there's this little like adjustable waistband. I have it tightened all the way and they still loosen up. So definitely a little litmus test there to the weight loss. But it's not that extreme relative to what I've seen many people out here, what they said they've lost. This is the second deer now today. It's just been in the middle of the trail, does not care. I had one that was 3 feet away from me before I think it even noticed me or cared to move. And reading other comments and talking to people there, quite fearless here, which someone said maybe there's not a mountain lion presence. But usually wherever there's deer, there's mountain lions. Sorry. There's been a bunch of blowdowns this last, stretch, but I don't know, maybe 20 miles or so, but that was a big one. The other side didn't have another log next to it, so I just climbed down up and over. Look at the size of this leaf. Giant leaves. Jurassic Park vibes. Of all the trail terrains, I think this is my preference. Like a softer forest floor with no rocks and limited sticks and twigs in the way. It's a little softer on the feet. It's not as dirty as like dirt, sand. Obviously smooth is ideal in all scenarios of type of material versus like a bunch of rocks and stuff. I just took a trip. Thankfully, I'll see when I get moving, but I was just trying to get through there. I think I had tripped and I clipped something like right here, maybe. Like some stupid rock or something I didn't see. And then that was my other foot that saved me from rolling downhill. Barely. I'm talking inches. It could have been way worse. And then I fell onto my knees. Thankfully, I missed the rocks. They both hit the gravel. And I felt my left foot, the injury, just shoot through really bad. That could have been really, really bad. So I just laid there like kind of facing the ground with my knees on the ground for like probably a minute because my left foot hurt so bad, but that could have been way worse. I'm keeping over a 3-minute pace today. I mean, I've done about 1,300 in elevation gain, about 2,300 or so in descent, so it's been an easier day across 13.25 miles so far. But still, with the injuries, the pain I'm in, and just the crankiness and lack of sleep, it's pretty good to be able to keep that pace up. I'm gonna try to stop probably in a mile or so, probably rest for lunch. That fall really, I was cruising, I was in a flow, and that fall really shook me up a little bit. So I want to collect myself as soon as I can here. It's 2:15. I'm gonna take my lunch break down here by this creek that I was trying to get to for water. As I said, I'm a little shaken up and hurting from that fall. It really sent a shockwave through my left foot issue. And I've done 14.7 miles so far, so it's a good start, but a long ways to go still. Hopefully the bugs aren't too bad in here. Sure, yeah, let me just get all the rocks out of the $200 shoes that I've had for 6 days. Ultra better make this right. This is where I took lunch break. Water's nice and cold. I'm planning out my resupply strategy when I get to Mount Shasta for the rest of California and Oregon. And I figured I'd put my feet in the water. I'm just worried about my blister getting infected because it just popped, it just burst. And my right foot, my skin at the bottom of my foot is completely peeling, and some of it ripped off live skin with it, so there's like a cut and it stings like hell. I'm worried about that getting infected. I'll put Neosporin on after doing this, so I think I'll be okay. And then of course that like weird wart thing I have on my right ring toe, but my feet really needed this and legs, so I'm trying to stay in for at least 7 minutes. It's quite cold. Well, I was taking my lunch break here. Had to use the bathroom. Number 2, you got to be away from any water flows or even dry creek beds, really. So I climbed up in there. There's trails there, so I went past the trail, found a nice tree and whatever, do my business. And I saw someone walking by that I knew. Well, they were ways away, but I could like hear them, they're clanking their sticks, and then I saw who it was. And then I came down and they said that a deer, and I saw the deer right away, was going through my stuff. So I don't know if that means the deer was like aware of my presence, waited for me to leave, and then came flooded in, or if it just happened to be fluke timing. But the deer here are quite aggressive from I've been hearing and reading comments, and that is pretty interesting that I stepped away for 5-10 minutes and it swooped in to try to go through my things. So it's 4 o'clock, so that was a long lunch, but I really needed to do some things, like start to plan out my resupply, which is important because I'm planning to do a bunch of tasks in Shasta to basically get boxes sent and kind of resupply for the whole all of Oregon, and I'm going to send them from Mount Shasta. And it's currently Thursday, so I'm 35 miles out of town, so I still have a full day tomorrow, basically. And so I got to know post office hours. Like, I'm pretty sure they'll be closed on Sunday, but if they're open most of Saturday, I might be able to pull it off. So it's kind of backtracking it all. But then also my body, I just wanted to put my feet in the cold water, creek water, and then I needed some TLC, like washing them out, disinfecting the couple of wounds that I have, as mentioned, that kind of stuff. So it was a good break, but now I got ways to go still. I was looking at what's ahead on the map, and there's kind of I have 6 miles to go. I'm definitely gonna do 6 more right now. I've done 14 and a half roughly. Definitely gonna go do 6 more, and then reassess from there depending on how I'm feeling. But there's water in 6 miles, so I will reassess from there. But after that water, there's not water for 8.5 miles, and it's over a 2,000 foot climb in, I think, like 3 or 4 miles. So pretty steep, and that's going to be well into dark hours here. So it's kind of a tough a tough place to land for the night in between those two spots. It's either like do 15 more miles, get over that 2,000 foot climb, come down a ways and get to somewhere I can camp with water, but that would put me late into the night, or maybe camp before and then leave a much bigger day for tomorrow. If I did in between, I then need to carry water for the 8.5 miles in between the two water sources plus overnight. You know, I drink water just like any other human out here, like you would normally during the night. You're thirsty, you wake up, you drink water, whatever. Or just you're thirsty in the morning because you've been sleeping all night. Plus, making dinner. I usually need about 2 cups or a little bit less than that to rehydrate my frozen or my freeze-dried meals. So I'm just gonna get this 6 miles done and then reassess. I could also try to like cook dinner in 6 miles, but I don't know if I'll be hungry because I just ate lunch pretty late. I guess late in general, but it's kind of usually around when I eat lunch, around 2 o'clock or so. But I could try to eat dinner in 6 miles so I don't have to carry the 2 cups of water for that. And then just kind of go another like 4 or 5 and camp halfway up the climb. So we'll see what I'll decide how I'm feeling as I'm going, but a lot of little pieces in motion to figure out here. Back solving for how much time in Mount Shasta. Like, I really should go get my foot looked at, but sounds like I've been hiking in and out with 2 kind of EMT nurse type background friends, and they said x-ray won't show anything at this point because it's so early, so you need an MRI. Like, there's no way I'm gonna have time to order all that stuff, so I don't know. But based on how I'm feeling, I might need a little more time off, but I don't have much to spare. All right, I gotta go because I need 2 hands for this. I feel good now that I've built out a resupply plan, which I've been just going town to town this whole time. But in Oregon, there's just like not as much available on trail. You have to hitch like I have been. But what is available on trail are like hotels and lodges and places like that will accept packages. So I can mail a package and I'll only have to walk about a mile off trail pretty much throughout all of Oregon, and I can pick up, you know, what I shipped ahead. So I feel good about that. I'm just walking and brainstorming. I have my ever-growing list of things I need to do in Mount Shasta. So I'm trying to decide how much time I'll need there, which really doesn't factor in any actual recovery, relaxing time, to help then determine if I really need to push through the night tonight so I can get there halfway through tomorrow and then get all my stuff done before the post office closes on Saturday, or if I can just head in on Saturday morning and then do it all Monday before I leave. So anyways, feels good to have a plan, but thinking through a lot of that. Well, I've seen 5 people today, all but one, which I've met before. Well, actually 6 if you count the guy that I ended up camping next to. Sorry, 6, yeah. But it's been very quiet today. It's been quiet on trail for a while. Just feel like I'm behind the bubble here, but that's okay. I think as long as I'm like a week behind, should be okay. A week behind the bubble. Definitely noticeable out here, pretty quiet. What a uniquely shaped spider web. It's like an orb. It's kind of funny. I can only laugh because the timing of me hitting these towns and trying to send packages to myself for the first time could not be worse. Like, I left the last town, Chester, got there on Friday, went to send packages, as you all know, and it was Saturday, so I couldn't. Now I'm going to be arriving here to Mount Shasta either on late Friday night or early Saturday morning. Just presumably it's closed Sunday. Who knows? I'm trying to get the hours for Saturday, and that'll help me devise a plan here. But yeah, anytime, any day during the week, I wouldn't have to be solving for these extra factors right now. It's just too bad it worked out that way, but I will adapt and overcome. Just running some math here. So if I do 25 miles a day as I've been since I kind of ran that math, and I've somehow held to that despite all the adversity and injuries, if I keep that up, so I'm going to assume that my injuries get better and it's not debilitating and all that. That still leaves me, I'm 250 miles away from Callahan's Lodge, which is the end of the Northern California portion, at least according to Far Out. I do need to confirm if that's consistent with how the official PCT and PCTA map looks at it, but that's Far Out's what I'm using, so that's still, so, you know, that's easy math. 255 by 25 is 10 days. Today is August 7th. So even if I take no zeros right now in Mount Shasta and just kept going somehow magically, because obviously I need to take the time to do things, that would put me at August 17th. Oregon is, I think, if I'm very lucky, I could get it done in maybe 2.5, 3 weeks. If I'm, lucky is the wrong word, if I'm really aggressive and healthy. And that puts me into kind of the first or second week of September, which does not leave enough time really to get Washington done, or like no margin of error, as I've been saying. Maybe push into like the first week of October, which is risking it, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. So I'm kind of thinking, as much as I wanted to take a couple days off in Mount Shasta and actually hopefully have maybe half a day of actual free time to see the town, I might need to really bust my ass tonight, and try to get there tomorrow instead of Saturday morning, like tomorrow afternoon, so I can get going on the resupply and get all these packages ready to go, and then hopefully shipped out Saturday morning before the post office closes, because if I don't get them done then I'm basically losing a day and a half, because I'd have to be there Sunday, wait till it opens Monday. It's going to take time on Monday to get them out, and then take time to get back on trail and all of that. So that leaves me, I got 32 miles now, I think. So I've already done 17 on the day now, 16, 17, something like that. So I might just end up pushing through the night, waking up early, like, and then finishing off tomorrow and getting into town tomorrow. But I'm going to be so exhausted if I do that, right? It's just very trade-offs that I'm trying to factor in here. So I've got 10 25-mile days left of hiking to do in Northern California. Establish that. Oregon is 493 miles. Washington is 503 or 505. Just call them each 500. So that's, if I'm doing 25 a day, that's 20 days each for both Oregon and Washington. And I think Oregon might be able to do it in a little less time, but Washington probably will take more just due to the terrain. So let's just, broad assumptions, say those factors kind of balance each other out. So 20 days each, that's 40 days. 10 days left in Northern California, hiking days. That's 50 25-mile hiking days left to get there by October 1st. And I just ran the total math. There's basically 54 days, or sorry, I just checked, there are 54 days until October 1st. So that leaves me 4 days. That's it. It's just 4 days in that 54-day stretch to take care of all my town chores, resupply, like basically days off of not doing mileage. So what I'm debating right now is, do I take 2 of those now here in Mount Shasta, really try to get all my stuff, ducks in a row, to shoot me and blast me through Oregon, and then in Cascade Locks, which is the bridge of the gods, the border between Oregon and Washington, do the same thing, take 2 days and just get all my ducks in a row for Washington and pound it out? Or do I try to push, just do 1 day in Mount Shasta and then plan for like a day in between? Because that's a lot. That'd be 10 days, that'd be 30 days straight of hiking if I did this. 10 Northern Cal, 20 Oregon without any rest. And that just sounds unhealthy, if not impossible. So it's just tough. And then the other option is, October 1st is not a hard deadline. It's a proxy for when winter will hit and it becomes impossible to keep hiking. My arm is starting to hurt. With this new orientation, I can't zoom out when I'm doing the selfie look anymore, at all actually. So I have to hold my arm as far out as it can go, and it's still barely fitting the screen. It's starting to hurt. So the other option is I push into October, where it is possible, like that's just gambling with the weather, to the point where not only might it be dangerous, it might be actually like more or less just not feasible. It could happen on the flip side too, like a big storm could hit in late September. That's been known to happen. So October 1st is a proxy. So the question is, how much do I want to gamble with the weather for the sake of my own kind of rest and health and ability to enjoy the trail a little bit more? It's so frustrating too. It just comes back to both injuries, but really the damn one in Bishop. Those 12 days. Like if I didn't have to take those 12 days off of that injury, I'd have plenty of time. I could be going to PCT trail days. I could be taking the time I want in Mount Shasta to actually see it. Could be taking time off in between. I do thrive under pressure. I'm a bit of a procrastinator, and I do thrive under pressure and in chaotic situations, and when things don't go according to plan, there's just stressful environments, is truly when I rise up to the challenge and shine. But like more so than just steady state, I would say. I'm trying to be fair, kind of self-aware, but I don't really like that out here because I've had the goal this whole time of getting to Canada no matter what, top priority. So that was always there. But now I've taken the ability to kind of enjoy the trip, the road there a little bit more has been taken away from me. So I'm going to be reflecting on all this, but it's like, in a way, I have to make kind of some of these decisions in the next 5, 6, 7 miles, because there's a reason I'm having to kind of force an answer to this now, because it's going to decide what to do tonight. Well, pacing wise, I'm pleased. Even though my left foot is in quite the discomfort, I am still on that 3 mile an hour pace. So just hit 5 o'clock and I'm 3 miles past lunch. So 3 more to get this next water source puts me right at 6. I can make a kind of decision about the rest of the night. So what you're saying is you have an hour to decide the fate of your next 54 days. Yeah, more or less saying. So it's 5:10 p.m. Just looked, I have 30.5 miles to get to Mount Shasta, the town, at least where I'd hitch into the town. If I can knock those out still today, tonight, maybe get up early tomorrow so I can like almost get there around this time tomorrow, that would be great, because that actually saves me half a day from when I was planning to get there and how I planned my resupply. I have supplies on me to go through tomorrow midday, so that would be great if I can pull that off. This is the McLeod River. It is pretty wide. I mean, this is a proper river right here. Actually just passed a few cars in a campground there, so some brief signs of civilization. Still waiting to see my bear fishing in a river. I think when we were in Alaska as a family a long time ago, I actually saw that, and then it's like so quintessential, like all the National Nat Geo documentaries, stuff like that. They show the bears fishing for what, trout or whatever. So every time I see a proper one, I'm looking, but nothing yet. I have seen 2 bears, only one was on trail, and it's nothing quintessential like that. Thankfully, there's a bridge here for this one, this crossing. Let's just keep it rolling. I'd probably end up filming again anyways. Oh, my foot. Sorry, just swallowed a gnat. Oh, this is nice. I'm coming up to this next water source. It says it's 1/10 of a mile away, so it should be close by. And it's 5 minutes to 6 p.m. So I'm on pace still with my 3 miles an hour pace today, which is good. My left foot is freaking killing me. I've just been trying to put the pain out of my mind, but I can't help but wonder if I'm doing damage by walking on it like this in this state. And my other foot's sore too, but not to the same degree as this pain. But I'm gonna rest here for a few minutes and then assess what to do for the rest of the day and tomorrow. I'll just ran into 3 friends that I've seen at different parts of the trail, Millie, Princess, and Steph. And everyone's kind of figuring out what to do next, but I am plowing forward on my stress fracture. It just hurts so much, but I'm going to go try to push here and do 8.7 more miles, which includes 2,000 plus elevation gain. It's already 6:15. Yeah, this hurts. But the idea is to try to have enough time tomorrow to hike and get into Mount Shasta before the stores close and start shopping. So then I can finish it out and get to the post office on Saturday, send packages before it closes. That is a big, tall task and order for me. And I'm not very efficient at it, but that's the plan. So I am making the push, which would then ideally I would leave Shasta Sunday. I'm not really getting the time I wanted there to go actually hang out on the mountain and taking the energy, but hopefully just being around the town will suffice and then go back one day. So I'm trying to save the day and a half, so I have to wait till Monday morning and get all the boxes sent. See if I can pull this off. I really just wish this foot wasn't hurting like the way it is. Oh, all right, see you in a bit. So I had messaged my brother on the Garmin, because I have no service here. I just kept trying all day to check the post office hours. It's not listed and far out, usually they are. And unfortunately, the post office is not open on Saturday. So, unreal. So either the universe wants me to take a few days in Shasta and send them all out on Monday, that I really can't really afford these days unless the universe is going to promise me not to have some heavy snow until mid-October. Or I basically have to hike through the night, not sleep, get to town, somehow resupply for 3 weeks ahead of time, which is, it's hard enough for me to do it when it's just for the next town, and get all those shit before it closes tomorrow. These fucking gnats are dive bombing my eyes, like literally into my eye. I've gotten 2 already. I gotta put on my mask. They won't leave me alone. I saw a lady earlier killing them in front of her face. I thought they were mosquitoes. I talked to her. She was like, no, gnats. And she's like, if you get them the first time right in front of your face, you can get them. So annoying. I'm literally watching them bounce off the mask. So satisfying. I bought these, the only thing I bought to take with me from that Bernie Falls State Park. So I couldn't do a real resupply there. I knew it was a very limited store. Called Nerds Gummy Clusters. They're amazing. I think it's the best thing I've eaten on trail, like walking on trail. So good. If you remember like Nerds Rope, kind of like that, but like way better. Oh my gosh, I think I'm in love. I need to find more of these. I've just been grinding. I've got my metal playlist on called PCT 2025, No Turning Back, with all the most intense metal songs, mostly melodic metal that get me going. I just been pushing. I'm 1,500 feet up, been hitting like 17-minute miles, even though it's been all uphill. I've got about 500 feet left. This is a little dip before the final ascent, and then a couple miles downhill, and then I should be able to find, I mean, it's going to get dark, but there's a water source and campsites nearby. There was no water for this 8.7 mile stretch, and I just didn't want to carry the water weight. I didn't want to cook dinner at the last water source because I had just eaten a few hours ago, and I didn't want to dry camp, which is kind of like the same as the first one, I guess, carrying the water weight. Yeah, I'm just a little tired, sorry. So I decided to push through. And well, no, not necessarily, because the dry camping also is carrying water weight, and then overnighting too. So I didn't want to like yeah, it's kind of saying the same thing. But anyways, I am happy with my decision. I'm sore, but I've just been so in the zone. And I'm like, obviously my foot hurts a lot, but I'm so in the zone. I was kind of ignoring the pain. Now that I'm talking about it, I really feel it. So I'm going to get back to it, but thought I'd take a minute because it's going to get pretty dark soon. Just kind of one of the last good visible videos here when I actually wasn't climbing up. Okay, I've made a decision. I'm still going to keep pushing because I got to get this water source for tonight. But I'm going to stay the weekend in Mount Shasta for a few reasons. One, it's been the one side quest I've had on my mind this whole PCT. Even kind of before going into it, it was what I was most excited about more than anything else, including like Mount Whitney. Yosemite was a close second, but Mount Shasta have been on my radar long before the PCT. Two, I just talked to my friends Lily and Dom, and they're like, yo, taking that extra like 1 or 2 days is probably not going to make or break it. Like if October 1st is a soft deadline, which it is for me, then, you know, it's like the odds that there's going to be a snowstorm on October 3rd. And I agree. I know I'm playing with fire a little bit, but I think I've decided I'm going to trust the universe here. Because honestly, I felt very spiritually guided to do this hike. So I really hadn't, I was like, it was, I don't want to say on a whim. The PCT was on my radar for a few years. I didn't seriously look into it till a year ago, and I kind of forgot about it. And then I got back from 6 weeks in Mexico to start the year, and I was like, now what am I going to do? And I had a list of 5 things, and I went to a local day hike with my friend, my good friend Figs in San Diego, and I was just going to sit there and reflect on the list of 5 options of what I was going to do next, and kind of meditate on it. It was just abundantly clear to me I should do a PCT. I was like looking around at the creek and nature. I'm like, why wouldn't I want this every day for the next 6 months? So, and there were other things too. So that kind of led me to it. So I didn't question it too much. I just got moving. So Mount Shasta is a very spiritual place, and I've just felt this pull to it for a long time. So while my overarching principle and goal that I make all my decisions from is to get to Canada and finish all of it, I do have to remember where this came from in the first place. And so, with my foot, how bad it is right now, and I have a crazy long to-do list of things for Mount Shasta, more than any other town, because I'm just thinking of all these things that I've been putting off, plus the regular resupply, plus I'm going to do these boxes to get myself supplied throughout all of Oregon. It's going to take a lot of organization time, planning. I'm just going to take the weekend to do it. So hopefully I'll be able to get a little free time in there and maybe actually check out the mountain itself. But I think that's the right move. It's really hard though, knowing if I soft October 1st deadline, I'm basically using 3 of my 4 rest days left here in Shasta, because tomorrow will be a half day of about 21, something like that, miles left. And I'll try to wake up early, but either way. And then Monday, I'll have to be the first one in line at the post office, get all the packages out. So by the time I get back on trail, I'll be lucky if it's early afternoon. So that's 2 half days and 2 full days. But I did actually make up for it, because I wasn't planning to get into, I don't think, a days. It's just, today's day 100, right? But now that the days of the week are on my mind, because I need to know post office hours, I resupplied in my bag right now. I'm carrying to have gotten there half day through Saturday. So basically, I think I took 7.5 days of food, and I'm gonna end up doing it in like 6 3/4 or something. So I definitely feel good about that, especially given everything that I'm dealing with. So I think it'll be good to rest for a few days, even though I'll be doing stuff, hopefully not walking 25 miles a day will do my stress fracture issue some good. That's my plan. I guess it could change, but so I'm not going to end up having to try to hike straight through the night and then rush in town to get all these packages pulled together and shipped off before 5:30 when the post office closes tomorrow, which is good. Kind of relieving. So yeah, I will check in a bit, but crazy that I've been out here for 100 days. Just got to the top of that climb. Got about a little under 3 miles left to go. This should be a little downhill now. My right knee's hurting. It's been bugging me the last couple of days. Haven't even mentioned it because there's so many things just pop up and go away, but now this has been lingering too. And I've just been putting my body under so much stress and probably adjusting my walking, putting more pressure and weight on my right leg than my left because of my left foot. So not surprised. Sucks. Whatever. Just got to deal with it. Hopefully none of it becomes debilitating, as I say. I'm going to stop to stretch my knee again because it's hurting. But, oh, what a day. I have the promise of a little, hopefully, between all the crap I have to do, but I'll have 2.5 days. Well, probably more like 2 full days, but in Mount Shasta, I'm really hoping I'll have a little time to do some, I think I need to clean my camera on the 0.5. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully I'll have some time to relax and just collect myself before what's ahead on this journey. I just stopped to pee on trail and I saw something on my peripheral vision. I mean, there's bugs flying all over and I have my white light on, so they're attracted to it. But a mosquito landed on my, you know what, like tried to get me there. Can you believe that? Thankfully, I think I caught it in time, but wow, these things are relentless. I was only exposed for like probably 30, 25, 20 seconds. I've already peed 3 times since the last water source because I chugged a liter. So yeah, these things are nuts. All right, I just got to the tent site I want to get to. I'm walking forward on the PCT about 0.1 miles to get the water, and then I'll walk back. Something I try to avoid, but it's smarter than carrying the weight to the last half mile. There's 2 tents there, so I'm not going to film. Maybe try to quiet once I get my tent set up, but I do think I know one of them, but it's hard to tell. That's just a tent. But I will see y'all tomorrow. This has been day 100. Can't believe it's been that much time. I'm so beat up. Today was hard, but I think I rose to the occasion, all things considered. I'll see y'all tomorrow.